I made $10,000 in my first 30 days doing dropshipping, and had I not made these simple mistakes, I probably would have made twice as much money.
Boom, look at that. Last 30 days. Let me hit the refresh on you guys so you know it's real. Boom, look at that. I just started 30 days ago. Crazy.
What's going on, guys? My name is Alex, and I'm on a journey to go from $0 to $100,000 a month with dropshipping. And I have a laundry list of mistakes that I made on this journey in the first 30 days. A lot of reflecting to do, and I want to share that all with you so you guys can avoid the same mistakes and learn how you can probably make just as much money in a shorter period of time. So I want to dive straight into it. The first thing that I wish I had done better and didn't make this mistake was being really lazy with my product market research. When it comes to dropshipping, the product is primarily the main focus, and a lot of effort and time should be put into doing the diligence early on, doing your due diligence early on, and making sure you find a good product that you can actually scale with. For me, I just wanted to get things going. I wanted to get my first product, my first store, kind of go through that process at least once and run some ads just so I can know what it feels like to just pick a product, build a store, run some ads. I was kind of lazy, and it only took me like maybe a few hours of doing product market research before I decided on the product I wanted to go with. When in reality, there's a whole entire checklist now that I go through when it comes to selecting and finding a good product. And it's tedious, it's annoying, it takes a few days, sometimes even a week or so of just doing a lot of scrolling and researching. But once you build this skill set and you build your mind to knowing how to identify a good product, it's an absolute game changer. For example, the first product I selected, it was like a $99 product, and I ran some ads and I didn't make any, I made a couple sales early on, but from that point on, I wasn't profitable. I didn't end a day profitable at all. When I kind of went through the motions and kept finding new products and kept trying to get better at product market research, I landed on the product that I'm on now. And on day one of this product, I made like 4 or 5 sales and I ended the day profitable. So it's like, there's such a night and day difference with the product that you select, and picking a good product will ultimately make or break you, especially as a beginner like I was. Didn't really know much about building stores, didn't know much about running ads. This is super important into the overall process of being really good at product market research. Now, I can go into a whole nother video if you guys want, breaking down my product market research strategy, but to kind of give you a quick summary, it really comes down to identifying a product that solves a problem or is a part of a niche audience. You want to make sure that product isn't super saturated. Obviously, you don't see hundreds of other stores running up the same product, but you also want to make sure that product has unique marketing angles and can speak to different types of people. And this was something that, we'll spend later on in this video talking about running ads and marketing, but you want to pick a product that is multi-dimensional, right? It can be served to different people and different audiences, because once you do that, you give yourself the most opportunity to sell to the most amount of people and make obviously the most money. So product market research is super important, and don't get lazy and don't get cheap when it comes to investing into good product market research tools, like my favorite one, which is Kalodata. I'll have a link down below. You can use this to find the most popular products going viral on TikTok right now. And my strategy is to pull those products that are going viral on TikTok onto Facebook. So, they're already proven products, they're already proven to do well. There's a ton of creative examples, and all you got to do is kind of just pull that over to Facebook. But that we can save that for another time, another day. But that's kind of the main thing, right? Doing the proper product market research. Now, if you guys stick with me from beginning to end of this video, I'll also share with you the next steps I plan on doing to get to 50K a month and eventually 100K a month. I discovered some really cool things that are super, super important that could help you all as beginners or people that have been doing this for some time ultimately scale and make more money. So product market research, don't slack on it, take it seriously, because it's literally the most important part of dropshipping is understanding how to get a good product. So now with that being said, the next thing that I really learned, and it took me some time, but spending way too much time on building a website. Like, I remember my first day building a store. It literally took the entire day. I had to figure out how to navigate and go through things. I was looking up tutorials on how to, find certain settings and features to make sure that my website functioned properly. And it's actually so stupid how much time and energy I wasted trying to learn how to build a store. It was crazy. And then I did that, tested the product, figured out the product wasn't profitable, and all that time was essentially wasted. And it's one of the biggest things that deter people from getting to dropshipping. They don't know how to build a website. And I still don't really know how to build a website, so now I use AI to do it for me. So there's this extension tool called Atlas Store Builder, Atlas AI. You can go in your dropshipping, your Shopify dashboard, search it up as an app and download it. I don't remember how much it costs. I think it's anywhere between $29, $39, or $49.99 a month, something like that. And I literally just grab my product. I'll grab the link from AliExpress or from Amazon. I like grabbing my link from Amazon. I'll slap it right into Atlas Store Builder, and it'll build the website for me in a matter of seconds. They'll pull all the important relevant details. They'll put together some copy. Now, what I do now is I smooth over the website. The base website that Atlas Store Builder builds or provides to you is solid and it's a good foundation, but it's not gonna, ultimately be the final website. So I kind of go in now and smooth over some things. I'll change some copy. I'll add some more pictures, add some GIFs. GIFs are really cool and good to add into your website just to add a dimension to it. But literally now it takes me maybe half an hour tops to build a website, which is so cool. It's saving me so much time and hours, and it's optimized to actually drive sales and conversions just because of the layout and the foundation of it all. Now, I use Atlas Store Builder, but lately I've been using Shrine Theme. You guys know Shrine Theme is probably the most popular dropshipping theme out there. It costs a lot of money, but it converts really well, and it's the most foundationally, the standard of it all is at a high premium for what you're paying for. So I have the Shrine Theme. Shrine Theme is really good. I've been dabbling and getting really good at using the Shrine Theme, and that has been really helping with the website I'm building now. I think if you're building a branded dropshipping store that you know that, hey, this is proven to be profitable and it's doing well for me, I think you all should, use Shrine at some point or another. But if you want to quickly test a product without having to go spend, 2, 3, 4, maybe as much as 8 hours in a day trying to build a website like I was doing, I recommend just using Atlas Store Builder. Use it to test your product, and if it's good, then you can always transition into Shrine Theme and build it out even in more detail. So another big mistake that was costing me, and in my journey, man, like to start off, like I spend so much time trying to research, learn, study, look up information. Obviously now I'm at the stage now where I kind of know, and a lot of this stuff is muscle memory just the first 30 days in. Still have a lot to learn, but man, if you can save as much time as you can, like that's the biggest thing with dropshipping, is saving as much time as you can. You want to spend as much time, doing product market research and just testing different creatives, different ads, different stuff like that to ensure that you are putting yourself in the best position to find your winning product and go from there. So, all right, next up, thing that I learned was not understanding the importance of AOV. Guys, I probably left $3, $4, maybe even $5,000 on the table in this first 30-day sprint that I just did because I didn't understand the importance of AOV, right? Average order value. The goal as a dropshipper is to squeeze out as much money as you can out of each customer to increase your profit margins. I'll be totally transparent with you guys. These first 30 days, my profit margins are basically barely anything, right? My profit margins in this first 30 days, I made 10K in total sales, but out of the profit I took from it was maybe a couple thousand. And it doesn't even matter to me because I'm reinvesting it all back into my business anyway. I'm not going to pull any profits for a while until we have abundantly clear certain goals. But the reason why, and I talked to a really experienced dropshipper. He's been kind of mentoring me and helping me throughout this journey. So shout out to him. But he's like, dude, you could be getting way more money and increasing your profit margins and your AOV, right? The amount of money each customer that was going to buy anyway, you increase the opportunity for them to make more money. So I have some really cool tips and tricks that I've been using to increase my AOV. I think you all should implement this right after this video if you're doing dropshipping now. All right, so the first one is increase shipping, right? So charging for shipping, especially depending on the price of your product, right? So if you have a product priced, let's say, anything under 60 bucks, you should be charging for shipping, right? Your product costs less than 60 bucks, I think you should be charging for shipping. And if your product costs more than 60 bucks and you want to do something where it's like, if you spend a certain amount, you get free shipping, I think you should definitely do that. I also think you should add an additional option that's insured priority shipping, right? And for shipping, I charge I think I charge $49.99 or $5.99 for basic shipping. I charge $4.99 for US shipping and then $5.99 for international shipping. If you spend a certain amount of money on my website, you get free shipping. If you spend over $70, you get free shipping. But I just recently added in priority shipping, right? So it's basically like it gives people the option to spend a little bit more money to get their product shipped to them better, safer, faster. When in reality, everyone's getting their product shipped at the same time in the same quality, but that option gives people the belief and understanding that, hey, I'm gonna get my products safely and insured to be correct, right? Like I don't promise faster shipping. I think that's where you kind of could cross the line and that could be a little bit misleading. I don't promise faster shipping. I just promise safer, more insured shipping, right? So I added that in, and it's a $9.99 rather than $5.99 or $4.99. and I've had a few people purchase that. So that's the first thing I increased my AOV. Charge for shipping, have minimum order quantities, right? People have to order a certain amount to get free shipping. And then the next thing that I added in for my AOV is a tip system. I actually just got my first tip today. If you follow me on my Instagram channel, alex.v.rob on Instagram, I try to share all my updates on my IG stories pretty often and quite frequently. And I got my first tip, man. Someone decided to tip me 12 bucks. I made an extra $12 on a sale, which is just free money because I have a tip system. So the tip is added at the end of checkout, where after someone is purchasing and they're adding in all the credentials and everything, they're getting ready to buy, they can opt in to give a tip, kind of just like when you go to a restaurant and you buy food and you can offer to tip somebody. And it's totally there it doesn't, mess up anything. It's just there as an optional thing that they can buy or add or, spend money on. And I got someone to do that recently. So the first time I added a tip. So that's an extra 12 bucks. And at scale, that could be a few extra $100 in pure profit every single month, which matters for your margins, especially when you're spending money on softwares and all that stuff, which is another thing we'll talk about, tracking. So that's another thing I use to increase AOV. Another thing to increase AOV is bundling. So I use bundling actually, it's so funny because the price of my product is $59.99. My base price, one unit of my product is $59.99 plus $4.99 for shipping. But my average AOV is right around $99, which means most people are buying 2 units of the product that I'm selling. The reason why that's the AOV and it comes out to that is because I have a bundle and save option. So you can buy 1 unit for that price of $64.98 or something like that. But if you buy 2, you buy it, you get like, I believe I have it as 10% off plus free shipping. So it comes out to like 107. And then if you buy 3, it comes out to like 157. You get 15% off plus free shipping. So bundling incentivizes people to buy more, especially depending on the product that you're selling. You want to be able to ensure that you are getting as much money out of each customer, because if you incentivize people to spend more money, they will, right? If they were going to buy 1 unit, there's a good chance they'll buy 2, 3, right? If you incentivize them, you have to make a good offer. Your offer is everything, and you want to throw in nice little bundles. Now, one of the things that I have not done yet in my AOV kind of process of trying to learn how to increase my AOV, one thing I haven't done yet is add little upsells, like little add-ons. Now I've sourced and found a list of things I want to eventually add, but I'm still kind of testing my ads right now to figure out, the consumers, what they're buying, why they're buying it. And I found a few things that I'm eventually going to add as an upsell, but I also don't want to spam too many offers in front of my customers and confuse them and then make them not want to check out and buy. But that is another thing I will be looking to add, is definitely going to be some little mini upsells that complement the product really well. Like, you're buying this, right? You might as well buy this as well. For example, like, let's say I'm on a coffee website and I'm buying a bag of coffee. What could be a good upsell is maybe a coffee cup or coffee creamers, right? Like things that complement the main product really well. So that's, the end of the day, one of the things I want to do. And whenever you get a buy, or you get someone to buy one of your upsells, it's pure profit because they're there to buy the main thing. And then if they add additional things, it's just increasing your AOV. The last thing that I just added in, which hasn't hit yet because I just added in a couple of days ago, is post-purchase upsells. So now when someone buys a product, they spend their money, they get the receipt and everything, there will be at the end of their purchase, they'll be prompted to say, hey, look, you just bought this product. Would you like to add another one for 20% off? You can just buy another unit for 20% off. And that's a post-purchase upsell. It's a really cool tool. I can't remember, I think the tool in Shopify is called Zipsy, O-U-C or O-C-U, Zipify, O-C-U or something like that. That's what it's called. And it makes it really easy to add post-purchase upsells. I've had other different SKUs or products that I was selling. I could add that in as well as like an additional post-product upsell. I really like it because it doesn't mess up the initial purchase, right? People are gonna buy the product, they have already entered their credit card information and paid, and at the end, they'll be prompted to, hey, you just paid for this one item. Here's an opportunity, a one-time offer. You only get this opportunity once to get the same unit or another unit for 20% off. And it just increases people and makes them more incentivized to buy as well. So that's kind of my AOV battle. There's a ton of other things that I could be doing that I know I can do to increase the AOV. But right now I'm pretty satisfied because my break-even ROAS, I've recently gotten my product sourcing down to a break-even ROAS of like 1.5, which is really solid to scale, right? Like as long as you aren't above a 1.7, you should be good. So I'm pretty happy about that. So next mistake that I made, not doing a good job of finding the right sourcing and figuring out my logistics. I want to stay below 1.5 break-even ROAS if I want to scale. So what I was just saying, when I first started, I kind of just went with AutoDS. I'm still kind of using them, but now I'm kind of expanding out and trying to learn and figure out other sourcing providers that could potentially source the same product with better quality, faster shipping, and at a cheaper price, right? Because as a dropshipper, you're trying to find every opportunity, every angle to be as profitable as possible. And that means your cost of goods and your shipping to your customers, if you can get that down to as low as possible while maintaining quality and improving the shipping times, then you're at a win-win. So I'm looking into a new supplier and agent that could potentially ship the exact same units for less, for cheaper and at a faster rate. And I think they do custom packaging as well. I'm really bullish on the product that I'm selling now. I do believe I'm still trying to get out of the initial testing phase. One of my ad campaigns actually finally got its 50th conversion. So now it's completely out of learning and it's in an active stage right now and it's doing good for me. It's about a 3x ROAS. So I'm pretty satisfied and happy about that. But I'm still dealing with like some of the inconsistencies of marketing, which we'll talk about in a moment. And I think overall, I'll see more profits if I just lower my cost of goods down. And I won't, now I can negate the inconsistencies of marketing I'm facing right now. Because if on some days I'm at a 2x ROAS and other days I'm at a 1.8 ROAS, it doesn't matter as much because, hey, I'm ultimately speaking, my break-even ROAS is a 1.5. So I still have leeway to have fluctuations in my marketing so I can still stay profitable. Right? So that's another thing, tracking, right? Meta and Facebook tracking is so important. I didn't go too long in my journey without proper tracking, but I did spend the first like week and a half without proper tracking, and that was pretty significant. So I was kind of just relying on Facebook ads and the Meta dashboard to tell me if these ads are profitable, if they're doing well or not, and that's the biggest mistake you can do. You don't understand how wildly inaccurate Meta dashboard is for tracking data. It's like actually really bad. So I use this tool called Triple Whale, pretty expensive, but I think it's totally worth it for all the power it actually has. And it allows us to do third-party tracking, or it's called like off-app tracking. I don't remember exactly what it's called. But it allows us to get better tracking and better data and numbers so we know exactly what ads to scale and kill. Like that's the biggest thing. It's like you look at the Meta dashboard, if you're testing different campaigns or different ad sets, Meta misreports all the time, and you could be turning off a campaign that's actually generating you sales, or you could be scaling a campaign that's actually not generating you sales. And that's one of the biggest discrepancies when it comes to marketing for people. They struggle so much because they're not properly tracking. That's ultimately what's happening. So Triple Whale allows us to connect directly to Shopify, to Meta. I add a unique code into all my ad campaigns, so now I can get proper tracking and I know exactly where every customer is coming from. On the first click, it tells us, okay, this customer initially came on this ad, but maybe they converted on this campaign. Or they came from this campaign and it took them 24 hours to buy this product, right? I have really detailed tracking, and Triple Whale is not 100% accurate, but I would say Facebook's like 60% accurate and Triple Whale is like 80% accurate, right? It's like a 25% improvement on actual data, and that goes a long way when it comes to knowing what campaigns to improve and what campaigns to turn off, right? So that's super important. If you guys aren't using some level of tracking, you are literally shooting yourself in the foot unless you're running one campaign, one ad set, and one ad, which I wouldn't recommend you do. That's literally the stupidest thing you could do. But unless you're doing that and there's no other way, you're not getting any leads or any sales from anything else besides that one ad and that one ad set and that one campaign on that one platform, then, unless you're doing something like that, I guess you might not need it. But trust me, if you're doing ads the right way, you're going to need something like Triple Whale, especially if you're spending as much money as I do. I spend anywhere between $200 to $500 a day on ads. So at that volume, you need to be spending time into tracking and proper data attribution. So that's pretty important as well. And then I had a few more other notes here, and then I want to share with you guys what I plan on doing to scale up. Not understanding the importance of creative testing and different marketing angles. So this is pretty big, right? And we'll end off here as far as the list of things that I definitely made mistakes on and still will want to improve on, is the importance of constantly creative testing. So creative testing is important because the way Facebook ads work, there's so many competitors in the market space. There's so many people running ads, and you want to put your creative to the test almost every day. What I mean by that is you want to test multiple creatives, 4, 5, 6 different creatives in a campaign. And then you always, every week or two, want to be testing new creatives and adding that into your existing pool of creatives so they're competing against each other. This is really important because ads fatigue quickly. They don't fatigue as quickly as they do on TikTok. On Facebook, they fatigue a little, they can last a little longer, especially if it's a good creative and a good product. But they can fatigue pretty quickly if they're not constantly being tested and placed in different areas to grow. I have one ad campaign right now that is, the creative on it is amazing. It performs really well no matter where I test it. If I'm testing in different countries, different interests, different subcategories, or open targeting, no matter what, it's like the #1 ad right now. So that's good, but I need to find other creatives that can rival that, maybe not perform as good as that one, but rival it, so that way I have multiple ads doing well, because, you know, ads fluctuate day to day. I thought ads would be consistent all the time, but that's me being stupid and not knowing better when I was younger. But ads will fluctuate, right? Overall, you shouldn't be looking at ads on a day-to-day. I mean, yeah, you monitor your campaigns day-to-day, but you want to see how an ad does over like a week. Because there could be 2, 3 days out of the week where it does really shit, and then 4 days out of the week where it does really well, and the average is overall good. But if you're paying a lot of attention to just how it did on those solo days, you might say, damn, this ad campaign sucks. Like, it's doing really bad on Mondays and Fridays and Sundays. But then the rest of the week, it's like amazing. So it averages out to be profitable overall. That's how you kind of have to look at it. So the more ads you have overall, you basically negate variance, right? If I have 2, 3 winning ad creatives that do really, really well no matter where I put them, some days ad 1 could be shitty, but that same day, the other ads could pick up slack for it. And overall, I have less fluctuation in sales. And I have a streamline of consistency because I have multiple ad creatives doing really well across different campaigns, different audiences, different interest groups, different countries and regions. That's ultimately the goal. I'm not there yet. I still have a lot to learn. I know a lot of you guys have been hitting me up on Instagram saying, dude, what you've been doing is amazing, congrats. I think I'm just getting started. I think there's still so much to learn. I think I'm still, overall, I'm not any more financially well off than when I started, right? You hear 10,000, you're like, oh shit, you just made all that money. The little bit of profit I made out of the first 30 days is going right back into the business, so I don't walk away with much. Actually, I don't walk away with anything. But I do walk away, financially I don't walk away with anything, but knowledge-wise, I am way more sharp. I'm way smarter than I was when I first started. I feel like I can conquer so much more, and there's still so much more learning and testing I plan on doing. So what I wanted to share with you guys are what my next steps are going to look like. And it comes down to this. One, I really do feel like I have a good product, but testing creatives is hard for me right now because up to this point, I've kind of just been piecing together other creatives made by other creators, which long-term isn't a good solution. It can get you in trouble, right? Some people can be upset about that and say, hey, you're stealing my video. You don't want to do that long-term. I think I'm kind of out of the initial testing phase. I feel like this product can do really well for me. I see the potential in it. Now it's time to actually get serious about creative testing and then also optimizing some other parts of my website. So I'm going to break down these 2 main things that I plan on doing to get to 50K a month and eventually 100K a month. But I honestly think I could potentially get to 50K a month this upcoming month, if not the month after, if I do this correctly. So the first thing I want to be focusing on is getting better at creative testing and getting more creatives made quickly. I don't want to spend a ton of cash, physical cash, going out to UGC creators and having them make videos for me. So what I'm going to be doing is spending a lot of time learning AI. I want to get really good at understanding and creating AI creatives so I can test my ads a lot faster. A lot of the creatives, like I mentioned now, are kind of just these longer videos that are okay. They do all right. They've been, solid for me, but I think that if I can test more creatives and have more split tests and different variations of each second or each, 5, 10, 15, 20 seconds, if I can optimize the amount of variance in my creatives, is what I've been trying to say, I can put myself in the best position to be as profitable as possible. I think that's honestly the thing slowing me down right now. I don't have a lot of creatives I can test right now because I don't want to just go out and keep stealing people's videos. I need to actually start making some creatives. Now, the product that I'm selling, I can make my own creatives, but I don't want to because I don't think I think short term that could be a good solution for me, but long term I want to get good at AI testing ad creatives because this is going to allow me to basically get any product I want, build a store, and then get unlimited creatives to test. Honestly, guys, like the way it works, as long as you have a Facebook ad account and you have some common sense on how to find a good product that isn't saturated, you can pretty much find any profitable product you want, because it comes down to creative testing, right? Like, for example, if you wanted to do a skincare brand and, you know, try to get like women's skincare going and you're a guy, what's going to be your biggest bottleneck? Well, you can build a website quickly, you could probably source the product, but now it comes down to finding good creatives, right? Like, how are you as a guy going to find a way to create these video creatives talking about women's skincare and makeup? You're going to either have to steal people's videos, which again, highly recommend you don't do that for long-term success. In the beginning, you know, stages, you can do that to test, but that's not going to do well for you long-term. People are going to see that video and be like, hey, this is actually this video from this brand, and they're not going to buy. So it's going to be stuff like that. Then the next alternative is like paying UGC creators, which is a lot of actual physical cash that you're going to need. And then the next option, which is what the option I'm going to be going with, is AI, right? So there's this tool called Arc Ads. They allow you to create AI agents that can say pretty much anything you want and talk about a product however you want. So I'm going to be testing that. I just invested into that software. It's pretty expensive. But if it works for me, I can now do unlimited creative testing. I can test so many different angles. I can do basically anything I want and find the most optimal and best creative that I can use to scale my brand and make it my own video that I'm not just stealing from somebody else, which is really important. So that's going to be that. I'm also going to continuously work with my suppliers to try to get my cost of goods down. That's the next stage there. So I can keep my margins, keep room for margins. And then other than that, guys, I think ultimately speaking, just finding a way to spend more on ads. I have a lot of business credit that I'm leveraging right now, and I just deposited a ton of money into my Shopify into my business account that I'm using to put right back on my credit card, and we're gonna run it up again in the month of March. So that's the name of the game there for me. So that being said, guys, that's what I'm doing. Hopefully you guys are following me along on Instagram, because a lot of the behind the scenes are there on IG, and hopefully you guys learned from this video. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Like up this video, share with a friend, and hit me up on Instagram, letting me know you watched this video and you're starting your journey, or continue it if you maybe took a pause. It really motivates me and keeps me pushing. With that being said, guys, I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.